There's romance, there are problems, there are responsibilities, and then there's Love Victor, the teenage boy that seemed to be caught in the middle of the entire fiasco. We saw him deal with problems in school and in his love life, and he was trying to figure out who he really is as a person. The movie was based on the movie Love, Simon, as well as the book Simon vs. the Homo sapiens Agenda. Both of these were more than enough material to create a really cool and groundbreaking TV series focusing on the problems of homosexual people. Victor had to fight his contradicting emotions and feelings, and then deal with how society would look at him. That's why we love the show, and it's become a major hit. So after watching the first 10 episodes of Season 1, we wanted to see Love Victor Season 2 First Look. Let's jump right in, people. Here's a recap. We can't really talk about Season 2 without going into a little bit of detail about what has happened so far, now can we? Now we know that Victor caused some pretty big plot twists in the final episode of the season. We knew he had feelings for Benji, but this was actually too much for us. Who knew that Benji would kiss Victor in the final episode of the first season? The spring fling dance turned out to be more than just a high school event. It was the moment when we saw Derek and Benji break up. Not to mention, we even saw Felix and Lake rekindle their love, after we thought we'd lost them forever. I mean, they did go to the dance with separate partners, but they ended up kissing in front of everyone at the dance, and God knows that's a pretty good way to take a relationship public.
No hickeys. No one can know about this. This has to stay our little secret.
Well, 3 can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead.
But back to our main guy. Victor actually had feelings for Benji for a long time. We saw the two kiss in the hotel room, after which Victor fled the room, terrified of the consequences. A lot has happened since then, and after Derek caught Benji telling Pilar about Victor, he broke up with him. While talking to Victor, Benji began telling him how he wants to find someone that understands him, kind of like Victor. This made the two kiss, which Mia ended up seeing.
I should get back in.
After confronting Victor about the kiss, he tells her that their relationship was real and that he liked her, but he can't hide who he is. The real kicker came at the very end, when his parents announced that they would be separating. He actually came out of the closet. Even though it wasn't one of the best moments to do so, he just couldn't live with the lie anymore. With so many unanswered questions in our head, we want to know.
Mom, Dad, I'm gay.
Is there even going to be a Season 2? There's no news on this matter yet. After all, the season was released on June 17, 2020. This means that the show is fairly new, and there is Hulu, the network where Love Victor aired, still needs to gather information about whether or not to give the series another season, and they would have to smash that like button if you haven't done that already. The fact this series was released only about a month ago, and also the coronavirus pandemic, that are postponing the return of the second season. Some of the news outlets out there are saying that because of the pandemic, we could be seeing the new season of Love Victor coming in late 2021, with some estimates saying that the new season will hit Hulu at the beginning of 2022. That sure is a long time to wait. And we want to know whether or not Benji and Victor are going to end up together, and what their relationship is going to be like moving forward.
Pilar, say goodbye to your boyfriend. I'm trying to have a nice family moment here.
My kidnappers are making me hang up. Send help.
What's going to happen in the second season of Love Victor? Well, based on what we've seen so far, we can assume that it's going to be about the relationship between Benji and Victor. But is that really the case? Because let's face it, Hulu is still waiting to see the results from the data and how audiences received the show. So far, we can see that it has gotten an 8.2 rating on IMDb and a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is crazy good if you know anything about movies. So we can safely assume that the show is probably going to live to see another day. It's going to be there for a second season, and if they keep up the good work, maybe we'll even get to see a Season 3. So what's going to happen in the following season? Well, first of all, the show is probably going to kick off the season with an episode that resumes the conversation that Victor was having with his parents in their living room.
We just need to take a step back and
they're probably going to continue talking about the whole situation of them getting a divorce and him coming out as gay. It would be best if they did so, because that would mean we'll get to see how difficult this conversation is going to go. And it's going to be a lot more interesting than if, let's say, they fast-forwarded a couple of weeks into the future. And of course, we'll probably be witnessing the hard situation of Victor's family. Are they going to stay in the same house, or is one of them going to move out? After all, they did say that they would need some time apart from each other. That probably means that they will be living separately. And what's going to happen with Victor and Benji's relationship? From what we saw in the previous season, we know that Benji is over Derek, and he only wants someone who doesn't make him feel anxious. Enter Victor. But what's going to happen with Victor and Mia? She actually did see both of them kissing at the bench. What will this mean for Mia? She is probably going to become his friend and confidant, keeping most of his secrets. But we know one thing's for sure, whatever relationship they had, it's pretty much over by now. And there's one guy that we can't get out of our head. Andrew. He's the actual guy that Mia's been falling for. So now the question becomes, are these guys going to stop pretending that there's nothing between them and just give their relationship a go? After all, Victor and Mia sure aren't going to work out.
So, what do you think?
And we can't forget about Felix, Victor's new best friend and upstairs neighbor. Ever since Victor and his family moved in, we get the feeling that Felix is quite eccentric. He gave Victor a walkie-talkie, for crying out loud. Victor was hesitant about the relationship at first, but then came around. And now, near the end of the season, they're best friends. But what's going to happen with them when Victor tells him he's gay? They're probably not going to end their relationship. Instead, we think that they're going to become even closer friends because of it. Guess we'll just have to wait for season 2 and see what happens next.
Congratulations! What a great gig!
Thanks.
Oh, I saw you guys pull in. Hi, I'm your new upstairs neighbor.
All of these questions assume that the writers will have their hands full for the following season, assuming there actually is one. And they will probably have to be developing new storylines. All of the aforementioned ones need to be completed. Otherwise, we would feel that these questions are going to be lingering throughout the storyline. They are the very basic storylines that the writers have to explore in the following season. Speaking of which, it seems like the writers are actually creating a writer's room together. They did this before the pandemic hit, so that means that Isaac Aptaker and Elizabeth Berger are already working on developing the new episodes of Season 2.
Benji, I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this.
No. I broke up with him.
Brian Tannen, the showrunner, even said, "Obviously with coronavirus and everything going on right now, we're a little bit up in the air as to when this might go back into production. But we're hard at work coming up with new stories for the show, and we are very optimistic for the future."
Okay, so?
You don't understand. She is the hottest girl in our class. She basically never dates, and you just made her blush.
Who's going to return for Season 2? Now that we know for sure, and it's not like the director and producers know anything we don't, but it seems like the entire cast will be returning for the second season. That's if some of them don't make a fool of themselves and screw up big time. So far, it's been pretty good. That means we will be seeing our main man, Michael Cimino, or as you know him, Victor, back in for a second season. Next, we will probably be seeing more of George Sear in the role of Benji. Rachel Naomi Hilson is probably going to be back in the role of Maya. Anthony Turpel, aka Felix, he'll be there as well. And of course, Bebe Goog as Mason Gooding.
I kinda kissed Benji.
Whoa.
As for some of the other guys on the show, we're expecting that they'll be back too. But there's not much info about the new recruits as of yet. Guess it's still too early to tell. And on that note, we end this video. But hey, are you eager about Season 2, Love Victor? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.